Goodbye, obsolete technology. I'm weirdly on my way to church, but I had to get rid of 2 printers that I'm probably sure last saw printing in the late 90s. Anyway, we had a good conversation about why Pacey would do what he did, but other than that, they were pretty useless.
I still
I also need to do some recycling. There's just a lot of errands I have to run before I start working again tomorrow.
That the wealthy and corporations paid their fair share to support this.
Well, you just opened the next segment.
Well, look, can I just finish? I think I should.
I'm going to give you a
go to our
chance right
website.
here.
I think it's the end of the world as we know it.
But on occasion.
And it's really special to see what God is doing here at Ambrose. I think this is a unique institution. But interestingly, the painting as we view it today is actually a fragment.
It does seem that secularization theorists were right when we look at Canada, the US, the Western Europe.
And I don't see why the fact that you're in the midst of people who disagree with you makes a difference. I mean, my own belief is that the best scholars in philosophy over the last 150 years have been non-Christians. I mean, I'm happy to go over the publication records of Bertrand Russell, Willard Quine, or David Lewis and defend that position very explicitly.
So Daniel, what did you force me to go and do tonight?
A talk on, are you religious or are you secular?
Yeah, so they threw me into a pool of holy water, cast the demons out, but explain a little bit about exactly what they talked about or what they discussed about.
I left my notebook in the car, so I can't.
Right.
Basically saying that our age is an age a lot of people say is a secular age, but that there are cracks of longing and for something that is transcendent beyond the secular.
Yeah. I actually found it really eye-opening as a secularist.
That's because they threw water in your face. You had to
That's right. Can I just say what my favorite moment of the evening was?
Sure.
The audible gasps when the speaker said that there is a complement or a companion of doubt with religious faith.
Really?
I honestly thought that the one behind was about to faint.
And the disagreements, there was most of the questions were about that, which surprised me because I have doubts.
Yeah. Well, I doubt that's true, Daniel. Woo! So I think it's about time to have an existential crisis. I'm truly wondering if I am 2 different people in the same body. And I'm talking in particular about these videos that I make. So I mean, definitely I go out and do the things that I want to do, but I question, would I be doing these things if I weren't making the videos? Now, I don't want to make it seem like I'm doing stuff I don't want to do, but what I do want to be honest about is that I am intentionally, because of these Monday videos, pushing myself to go out and do things that are interesting so that it's not just a bunch of me sitting on the couch watching Gilmore Girls and getting fat. So the question really becomes, am I doing things that I actually want to do, or am I simply forcing myself to go and do things that I do kind of want to do out of some sort of internalized guilt that is of my own choosing? And once again, it's probably one of those classic Kyle overthinks, so this is my life. But you know what's gonna make this better? Ice cream. The answer is always ice cream. Anyway, so I'm gonna go and see an author reading tonight.
A couple of different segments. One is kind of how we got here and what the Man of Cloud 9 means to me, and also to help some people understand the differences between Hoods and the Wizard Killer and the Man of Cloud 9. And so we kind of sat down to talk about, okay, what was she doing? How could I support that? What was I doing? And I said, you know what, I really want to be an author now. And I want to throw everything that I've got at it. But I don't want to be this guy. This is going to be part of my story. Maybe I'll release this someday, or you know what? The real ending that I need for refusing to stay down is that J.K. Rowling level, or some level of recognition as an author, right? This little kid has this idea, kind of goes through, being dyslexic in the sense of being a fraud, and then getting his medical events, and then it doesn't have its natural ending.
Well, once again, expectations were exceeded. I had a really good time. Adam Dries is this local Calgarian author who writes a lot of fantasy, science fiction, somewhat geared for younger readers, although he's now kind of going into the adult reader market. And I just find him a fascinating author. I stumbled into him at the Calgary Comic Expo one year, and have been following him on social media ever since. So he's a little bit of an inspiration, because one day I want to call myself an author. But until that point, I'll just call myself Kyle. It's also a possibility that I try and do too many things and I hold myself to this impossibly high standard, but what's the fun of life if not self-pity?